This is an interesting story revolving around changing internet service providers and unknown devices connecting to the network. This story also has an update. He says, a while back, we switched internet providers, and our new modem came with an app to manage the network and connections. It was unreal how many devices we had connected to the Wi-Fi. I was playing in the app one night and noticed an Android device phone, but we both have Apple devices. Wow, this man was aware of every device on his network. At first, I thought someone had guessed our Wi-Fi password, so I changed the password, but it came back a few days later. I was working from home one day and noticed the Android phone disappeared when my wife Cindy went to work. Uh-oh. When she got home that evening, the Android device returned. I finally got a chance to look through her car and later her purse, but came up empty. That night, while she was in the shower, I went through her gym bag and finally found it tucked away in her briefcase. I didn't have time to try and look through it, so I put it back. The next time she went to the gym, I went to look through it, but it was gone. The next night, I found it again in the briefcase. This time, I took it and tried to unlock it, but none of her old passwords would work. I decided to take the phone to a repair place down the street to see if they could unlock it. I had to confess to the tech the real reason for wanting to get into the phone, as I am a terrible liar. He felt sorry for me, I guess, and an hour later he called me and said he was finished. He backed everything up to a thumb drive that I read when I got back home. I saw all the pictures and texts between her and two different guys over the last 9 months, including graphic discussions about their hookups. 6 years of marriage up in smoke. I thought I was having a heart attack, couldn't breathe, and just sat there at the computer staring at it all. I got better after an hour and guessed it was just a panic attack. I probably would have had a panic attack too, but probably more angry. When Cindy got home, she was very anxious. She wandered around the house, obviously looking for her phone. I think she realized she might be in trouble and her cheating cover is blown. I asked if she was okay, and she said she lost some papers from work and needed to find them. I offered to help, but she said she would find them. I got her back in the kitchen and pulled the burner phone out, asking if this what she was looking for. That was a good move by OP. There was that deer in the headlights look on her face and panic starting to rise. I said there could be only one reason why she would have a second phone in her briefcase. I asked if she was cheating on me, which she denied. Of course she's going to deny it. Most people who are cheating won't come right out and be so forthcoming. You can forget that. I said, fine, then give me the password so I can see for myself what is on it. She tried to turn it around on me, saying that I was invading her privacy. They always do that. I handed her back the phone and said her response just proved my suspicions. I sat down on the sofa and felt a hot flash again and started to cry a little. When she saw the tears, she softened and said it was only once, and she felt guilty about it and cut things off. I opened up the file on my tablet and handed it to her, asking only once. She kept saying she was sorry, that it wasn't my fault, and that she wanted us to stay together. I said I needed some space to think, and we needed to separate while I decide how to move forward. She disagreed and said we needed to talk it out. What? For what? There was nothing to talk about. You cheated twice. You're done in my book. So I started asking questions. Was he married? Was it a coworker? How did they meet? Where did they hook up? What kind of sex did they have? What did she do with them that she hasn't done with me? Were they bigger than me? Did she use protection? She finally said enough. She couldn't do this anymore. She asked how long I had known. I said I found the phone a week ago, but didn't see what was on it until today. I said I was still in shock and needed time to process it all. She agreed to spend the rest of the week at her sister's house, and we would talk more this weekend. She wants to schedule a session with the marriage counselor next week, and I agreed to that. I didn't tell her I would be consulting an attorney tomorrow to get an idea of my options. Last Christmas, her sister got a divorce after finding out her husband was having an affair. There were several family discussions about cheating at her parents' house and how low her ex-brother-in-law was for betraying his wife. I can't imagine what was going through her mind sitting there being just as guilty. The thought of leaving her kills me, but I don't think I could forgive her or ever trust her again. Nope, you won't. She has cheated twice already. Why would you give her a third opportunity? We had been talking about kids, but I am so glad we were still waiting. New info. First, my to-do list. Attorney. I showed my text collection to my attorney, and he is proceeding with the filings. He gave me a worksheet on things I need to do in the meantime. The doctor. All tests came back negative. First, AP's wife. I met with her this afternoon and gave her hard copies and a thumb drive. I showed her the pictures they had traded. She is not going to confront him with it until he is served. Cindy's sister, not the one she is staying with, but the one who just divorced her cheating husband. I met with her tonight and showed her my greatest hits, the more damning text, and let her see what her sister had sent her APs. She was angry and, at the same time, a little sad. She apologized to me and said she had no idea what her sister had been up to. If she had known, she would have told me. I am sure I will hear about her sister when Cindy comes to the house tomorrow to get some of her things. She wants to sit down and talk, probably about how we are going to move forward. This may be my last entry here on this thread. I may post a separate update later if needed. Here is a small update. He says my ex Cindy continues to play the pick me dance. She finally moved into a studio apartment and out of her sister's place. I went to 3 sessions of couples counseling. I wanted her to admit why she cheated, but all she wanted to do was insist that we get back together. It was a waste of time and money, but a necessary evil. No, it wasn't. You called it out. You said it was a waste of time and money, and that it was. Most of our friends have sided with me, but she had a few diehard friends that took her side. I remember doing a video about that, saying that no matter what kind of concrete proof you have, they still may think you're the bad guy, no matter what. And it happens like that sometimes, but you have to persevere and just keep moving. They were surprised, I think, when the rest of our group cut ties with them. I have a good therapist that I have been seeing. All the divorce papers have been signed and filed and are awaiting signing by the judge. We are less than 12 days away from the divorce being final. I have had a couple of dinner dates with 2 women from my friend group who have expressed a romantic interest in dating me. At least one of them appreciates that I am waiting until my divorce is final before pursuing any romantic dates. Well, I gotta be honest. I almost thought he was going to simp out when he agreed to marriage counseling, but he didn't. Kudos for him for going ahead with the divorce. As I have said in the first video back on the channel, there are 2 channels probably ran by the same person who took videos from my channel. Didn't even change the thumbnails, even with my face on them. They also use the same backgrounds that I filmed with my phone and camera, even the beach here in Florida, and one video with me going over the Skyway Bridge, coming from and going to Tampa. I will leave a pinned comment with the links to those channels that stole the videos. Until next time.